Hi again. This webinar is going to go into detail about the CarePatrol business model, so please be sure to take notes as we will cover questions on our next call. Just like I said on our intro call, my role in franchise development is to help you get all of your questions answered in order to make a well-informed decision about whether this is the right business for you to meet your personal and professional goals. Before I give you an overview of who we are, I want to take a step back and talk about our parent company, Best Life Brands. Best Life Brands is a portfolio of companies supporting a continuum of care. Our sister companies include Comfort Care and Blue Moon Estate Sales. Comfort Care provides in-home care, and Blue Moon Estate Sales is the leading estate sales franchise in the U.S. Along with the support from our private equity investor, the Riverside Company, we are looking to continue to acquire proven and mature models in order to help people live their best life possible. And then also, we want to improve the marketing, technology, and support for our current owners in order for them to grow their businesses. Now, I like to discuss the industry a little bit. You might already know this, but baby boomers are the fastest growing age group. 10,000 people are turning 65 every day, and this will bring the total demographic up to 70 million by the year 2030. People are living longer, and the need for CarePatrol services is growing year after year. Up until 15, 20 years ago, the only way an individual could commit themselves to working with the senior demographic is to either become a doctor, an elder care attorney, or run an in-home care company. Which leads us to the history of CarePatrol. Chuck Bongiovanni is a trained social worker and saw the need for safe and right match placement in assisted living over 25 years ago when he encountered a patient in a memory care facility who had no memory issues. Now, after this experience and encountering several other similar ones, Chuck had his aha moment and became the founding father of senior living placement. As Chuck says, it's a valuable, necessary service for seniors and their loved ones. He started the business in 1993, and then a couple years later, Becky Bongiovanni started as the first franchise owner and proved that Chuck's model worked. After she was so successful at it, they decided to start franchising in 2009, and Becky is still the brand president for CarePatrol. So we help identify the safest and most appropriate senior living option. This is usually confusing, time-consuming, and emotionally draining. We help families find the right place. Whether it be in-home care, this could be an option with our sister company, Comfort Care. Nursing homes are for seniors needing the highest level of care, or if they're in rehab after surgery. Independent living facilities are areas where mom or dad can care for themselves without supervision. Assisted living facilities are where seniors need hands-on care for independence. And then last, memory care facilities are for seniors living with dementia or Alzheimer's and their place there. Our franchise owners provide the assistance by identifying the safest, most appropriate option based on their specific needs, wants, and budget. The service is completely free to clients, and franchise owners are paid directly and handsomely by the referral source. We currently have 148 owners across the US, so when we do have territory available, being the biggest and the most experienced in the industry has the advantage. We have the most national partnerships compared to any competitor. We have a step-by-step guide for the best approach for client referrals and acquisitions. And last, we have extensive training and support. Now, a little bit about our process. So the first step is the owner meets with the family. Typically, the family recognizes that mom or dad need to be moved out of their home. Either the house is falling into disrepair, they're not social anymore, the food is expired, et cetera, et cetera. Now, then the owner helps with determining what the senior budget is, their needs, and through the software, they build a profile. There are questions that the software asks, and with a proprietary algorithm, they'll match the senior to what they need and want. It'll provide pictures, reports, videos, online reviews, and usually the senior and family pick about 3 or 4, and then the owner, the franchise owner, goes on tours and serves as the advocate to make sure they get their questions answered. Now then, once the senior is placed, the referral fee is 75 to 100% commission of the first month's rent. It's pretty simple. So now that you understand the process a little bit more, I like to discuss the territory. Now, of course, we wouldn't be talking right now if it wasn't available. And at a high level, the territory needs to have at least 300,000 in population, 50 communities, and 1,200 beds. On our next call, I'll show you the mapping software so you can see what your particular territory would potentially look like, and we'll provide you with all this information on the demographics. Like I mentioned before, we have the most national partnerships. These are just a few listed here, but there are over 50. What is nice about this is that once you open your doors, you are ready day number 1. There are contracts and commission structures already in place, so part of your training will be to build relationships with these partners locally. The next part in training is teaching you how to build a list of referrals. This business is largely B2B, so you will need to market to them and build relationships with them. A good example is if you're meeting with a client or a family and you're finding a placement for them. Well, not only that, but you're also asking for the primary care physician or maybe the neurologist or maybe a caseworker that they've worked with. Then you would put all of this information into the database and use constant contact to market to them, which leads us to technology. In this day and age, you need proven technology when you're building your business. Luckily, we have this figured out for you, and it's been developed over 25 years. Calculated Care helps to determine the care level and needs of the senior. It has proprietary CRM that algorithmically matches the client to provider options. It has professional on-site tours and evaluations, and this tool helps our owners to build trust between them and the family and provides the final guidance and consulting regarding their decision. Training and support is extremely important to CarePatrol. We want to give our owners the best chance of success. We have an extensive training timeline, so let's say you sign your franchise agreement today. The next step is to complete the certification requirements. The Certified Senior Advisor title and certificate validates and gives confidence to you as a professional and the clients that you serve. This needs to be completed within 6 months of signing your agreement. Then after signing your agreement, you'll be in training for 12 weeks before you can officially open. Right now, our training is taking place on our e-learning platform and virtually. Some of the content you will learn is listed here. So in phase 1, you'll learn foundations, mission, vision, provider development. Phase 2, brand standards, overcoming objections, provider process, and your franchise business consultant will be assigned to you to shadow you virtually at this time. Phase 3, you'll learn the client process, documentation, identifying referral sources in your territory, and more. And then phase 4, you'll learn how to prospect, present, build your business plan, and again, have another shadow with your franchise business consultant. Ongoing support includes field support, so your franchise business consultant visiting you. Right now, of course, it's getting done virtually. Monthly business building webinars, weekly newsletters, resource library, technology support, the client support center, And then we also just implemented Profit Keeper, which helps us to manage our owners' KPIs and give focused coaching. Another part of training is how to manage your time, and this gives you a good idea of what your day-to-day would look like as a CarePatrol franchise owner. So when you first start out as an owner in any business, you'll be wearing a couple different hats. You'll be the business development manager, building relationships with referral sources, communities, and clients, but you're also the administrator. Now, typically in the first year, towards the end, you'll be able to hire an administrator or a business developer. That's up to you. And then this is something you can really discuss, though, with owners during validation. It all depends on what your goals are. At this time, you should probably be asking yourself, can I achieve my financial and personal goals with this business? And these are examples of how our owners make money through placements with independent living, assisted living, and memory care facilities. Now, if you make it simple for yourself, you can round the placement to $3,000, and if you do 100 placements in a year, that would be $300,000. And when you're building your business plan, you have to ask yourself what actions and steps would you need to get there. This will be taught during training, but you can also discuss this with owners during validation. During this presentation, I do like to talk about who we are as a company. Now, one of the most important parts during the discovery process, like I've mentioned before, is validation. But I think this award speaks volumes. We have won the Franchisee Satisfaction Award 10 years in a row, which means our franchise owners love CarePatrol. It's a coveted award that we have been awarded ever since we were able to receive it. Like Becky said here, this recognition speaks to the level of commitment we have in helping our franchisees reach their fullest potential. Our franchisees are the heart of this business, and we will continue to work alongside them with the goal of helping families find safer care options for their loved ones. You'll get to meet Becky at Discovery Day if you're still determining this is a good fit, but I do think it's important to note, again, that she was the first franchise owner, and she is still the brand president. Couple other items is that we have a 5-star rating on Trustpilot. This review is from our clients that we serve. And we're also ranked number 13 as the best new franchise concept and a couple more. Now, whenever I'm looking at concepts, I want to know how we compare to our competitors. This table speaks volumes. Now, it's not like we have a monopoly on all the top owners, but it really comes down to the training, the support, and the national partnerships that we already have in place for our owners. The one I like to point out for numbers is the average revenue for 2019. CarePatrol's average revenue is $248,000, assisted living locators is $102,000, and then Oasis, the average revenue is $129,000. But are you a good fit for CarePatrol? So financially, we would like owners who have a net worth of $250,000 and $50,000 of liquid capital. This tells us that they'll make good business decisions. The worst case scenario is if people were to take off in year 2 and then they run out of money, not a good situation for either of us. Now, we're looking for this list of criteria here, but all of these traits listed will come down to someone who wants to build a successful business that makes a difference. But I do think missing here in this list is work ethic, attitude, and following a system. If you work hard, have a great attitude, and are humble enough to follow the system, you have a really good chance of being successful. And last but not least, our discovery process is similar to others in order for you to make a well-informed decision for whether this is the right business for you. And during the process, it's also my role to determine whether you are a good fit for our organization. So we have already completed the intro call, and now you have watched the webinar. Next, we'll go over questions, review the territory available, and the FDD together. After this call, I will then send a candidate profile to complete before speaking with our owners. The most important part of any discovery process is validating with franchisees and continuing to get your questions answered. If after some validation you are still thinking this is the right fit, and we think you are too, then we would like to have you attend a discovery day. Right now, we are hosting virtual discovery days, and this is a chance for you to meet the corporate team and verify what you have learned. Then, if you are approved after discovery day, it's time to make the decision for whether this is the right franchise opportunity for you. If you determine that it is, and assuming all is well, we will build franchise agreements and secure training dates. Thanks so much for your time. I look forward to our next call.